What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping back into the vault with X-Men issue number 17. What we had last seen is Forge making his way inside, with his mission being to rescue Darwin, not only to save him from the centuries that he has been inside of here, but also to gather all the knowledge that Darwin might have on the children of the vault. But while he was inside, what he found, it was Wolverine. We had believed all this time that Wolverine sacrificed her life, doing this so that Synch could escape the children of the vault. We are now learning that she has been alive this entire time, but while Forge was also inside of the vault, he didn't know that he was being tracked. The only question remaining, can Forge make it out of the vault before he is found and before he is captured? Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up at the treehouse. That is because Synch had decided to stay behind, not wanting to go anywhere near the children of the vault. Spending all those years there, he'd rather just stay clear. But when Jean Grey appears in front of him, tears running down her face, letting him know that they need him outside of the vault. Without skipping a beat, we see Synch go running out, and that is what takes us over to Forge. Him and Caliban are having a conversation on what they are going to do. After recently just finding Wolverine, Forge lets it be known that she is not the mission, at least for right now. This does bring up a little bit of a problem. He was assured that she was killed in combat, but now he knows for certain that this is the second mutant that has been resurrected and the other is still alive. This is when him and Caliban, they get in a little bit of an argument, because Caliban, he wants to help. He has always wanted to help, and though Forge told him that is the entire reason that he even agreed to come on board, Forge lets it be known that that is simply not the mission, that we have to find Darwin, that if we have time, we will come back for Wolverine, because finding Darwin could very easily mean the survival of the entire mutant race. This is when from behind him, we have Serafina, taking Forge by surprise. With one punch, she is able to knock him out. Before she goes to kill him, this is when Caliban jumps in, having a conversation talking about what the mission might be, telling her that this is a rescue mission. That is when Forge wakes up. Immediately going after Serafina, she throws a knife into his chest, as he limps off trying to get away from her. Severely wounded, this is when she comes and lets him know that she just has some questions. The first question that she has, why did you rescue me when I was captured by Orcus? With Caliban saying that that is simply what the X-Men do. They do what is right, and leaving her as a prisoner for Orcus, that is the wrong thing to do. This is when Serafina decides she's gonna give them the opportunity. Tell me the truth and you will not die. Asking why he created that giant structure outside of the vault. He lets her know that the alternative would be war. She knows that this is true, but she also wants to know what the ulterior motive could possibly be. The truth is, Forge wanted to see what would happen, with Serafina believing everything that he has said, believing that he is not lying to her. That is the same reason that she is allowing all of this to go on. For her, the scales have been balanced, but she does want to see how everything is going to play out. And so because of this, she leaves. She doesn't mess with him and she wants to see what is going to happen. That is when we see some wires attach themselves to Forge. In an instant, he finds himself in the beauty that is Krakoa in the future. This is exactly how he saw it in his imagination. A beautiful, thriving utopia. And this is when we see Darwin coming in on angel wings. And he is letting Forge know that this should look like your imagination, because that is exactly where we are. They are inside the mind of Forge. This is when they start to talk, asking where his body might be. He lets us know that the first few centuries, they were an absolute nightmare for him. It didn't take long for him to be captured. Days that he doesn't care to remember. With a gift being able to survive anything, the children of the Vault, they experimented and they tested this to the fullest capacity. They were essentially living autopsies. They were prepared, but so was Darwin. Not really sure how he might get out of this. In an instant, his mutant gift had kicked in, and he knew instantly exactly how he was going to get out. When the children of the Vault came for him, they scanned all of his memories. He gave them a curated version of his life, but then he snuck his conscious mind into their infrastructure. So when they had his brain plugged into all of their machinery, into their computer, his conscious mind went inside of it. And now he can be at all places at once. He can be all over the Vault, and the children, they have no clue that he is even there. He is learning all he can about the Vault, and he is not ready to leave. At the time he has here, he sees it more as a blessing, saying that there are millions of people here, and that he has learned so much just by watching them. He wants to continue watching them and to see what might happen. With Forge telling him that they hope they meet again, he says goodbye and he wakes up. And so no longer having to go and rescue Darwin, this is when he goes over and he grabs Wolverine, picking us up with Sync coming through the gateway, trying to figure out what is going on. All the X-Men are laughing, they're smiling, they're having a great time. And this is when he sees her, what is being referred to as Alpha Wolverine, out of the Vault here with the X-Men. And Laura wastes no time jumping into Sync's arms. The two of them kissing, embracing one another. They have finally been reunited. Taking us to a little bit later, we have Forge and Caliban, asking him a hypothetical question, at least that is how he puts it, saying that if I wanted you to do something, if I needed you and your powers for rescuing another mutant, would it be something that you would do? He lets him know that he would definitely do it. This is when Forge goes to tell him everything that happened and everything that they have done. By all appearances, Forge didn't actually let Caliban know. He just did what he wanted, and now afterwards, he is letting him know what happened. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. A relatively good issue, definitely bringing to a close at least this little bit of the story arc. You know, they're definitely going back into the Vault at a later point in time. It's going to be very interesting to see the vast slew of knowledge that Darwin is going to gather over the centuries, the millennia that he is going to be in there. Because at this point, he has already spent so much time there. Now Forge knows exactly what to expect. He knows exactly how to rescue him. He doesn't even need to go get a whole body. He just needs to go get the consciousness of him. Then he can take that consciousness and they can just put it into one of the husks. But the knowledge that he might come back with, it could revolutionize all of Krakoa. We're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of years. The advancements, the understanding that he could have, it could change everything. And who knows what Alpha Wolverine had seen in her time. At this point, I think Darwin is about 500 years old, so she could easily be double that at this point. I am very interested to hear her story, to hear what she went through while she was inside the Vault. Obviously, we saw that she was captured, so we don't know if she was kept in some kind of more or less sleeping state, or if they had her awake experimenting on her like they did with Darwin. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything going on with X-Men, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on the entirety of this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only would you be helping out the channel tremendously, you would be getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.